Most people think of fire as something that burns, something that consumes, or something that destroys. But life itself does not fear fire. Life is organized by fire. Without Agni, nothing in life moves correctly. Food does not digest, thoughts do not settle, decisions do not arrive. Energy exists, but direction is missing. This is the difference between power and intelligence. Agni is not power, Agni is intelligence. In the ancient understanding, Agni was never limited to just a flame. Agni was the principle that transforms potential into function, food into nourishment, experience into understanding, and impulse into action. Where Agni is balanced, life feels light. Where Agni is disturbed, life feels heavy. Not because effort increases, but because resistance increases. Modern science speaks of metabolism. Neurology speaks of processing. Psychology speaks of clarity. Ancient wisdom used one word for all of this: Agni. Not as poetry, not as mythology, but as a unifying intelligence that governs how life organizes itself. Agni exists everywhere: in the stomach, in the mind, in the atmosphere, in the sun. Different expressions, same intelligence. When Agni functions correctly, life flows. When Agni weakens, confusion appears. When Agni becomes excessive, aggression appears. Most modern imbalance is not due to lack of energy. It is due to misdirected Agni. People today have stimulation, but no digestion, information, but no assimilation, activity, but no clarity. This creates fatigue that sleep cannot cure. Agnihotra does not add energy. This is important to understand. Agnihotra organizes energy. It gives Agni a reference point. Twice a day, the human system is invited to synchronize with the greatest Agni of all, the sun. At sunrise and sunset, solar Agni shifts. The nervous system knows this. The atmosphere knows this. The body responds to this, even if the mind ignores it. Agnihotra simply places a conscious pause inside this universal shift. Fire lit at random does not organize life. Fire lit in rhythm organizes life. This is why Agnihotra is not flexible. Not because it is rigid, but because intelligence requires precision. Life is forgiving. Nature is patient. But intelligence is exact. Agni responds to alignment, not convenience. When a human being sits before fire at the correct moment, something subtle happens. Thought slows without force, breath deepens without instruction, the mind stops chasing and starts listening. This is Agni, working upwards, not consuming but clarifying. Modern culture glorifies intensity. Burnout is celebrated as dedication. Exhaustion is mistaken for purpose. But Agni does not thrive on overload. Agni thrives on rhythm. Too little Agni leads to stagnation. Too much Agni leads to destruction. Balance is intelligence. Agnihotra trains this balance quietly, daily, without drama. This is why Agnihotra does not aim for experiences, because experiences pass. Agnihotra builds capacity. The capacity to digest life, to process difficulty without collapse, to act without agitation, to rest without guilt. This is not a spiritual achievement. This is a functional clarity. When Agni is organized, decisions become simpler, not because options reduce, but because confusion clarifies. The mind stops arguing with itself. The body stops resisting routine. Life begins to cooperate. This is not belief, this is architecture. The era of light does not require more information. It requires organized intelligence. A human being who cannot digest life cannot lead life. Agnihotra restores this digestion of life itself. Not through force, not through an additional ideology, but through alignment. Agni was never meant to burn us. Agni was meant to guide us. And when Agni is respected as intelligence rather than power, life does not become intense, it becomes accurate. This is why Agni stands at the center of life. Not as flame, not as a symbol, but as the quiet intelligence that keeps everything in order.